Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Phlinger, and today we're going to be doing a beginner's guide for Conan Exiles Enhanced. Now, there was a massive update when, actually, I want to say a week or so ago, which is why I'm actually starting this. So, they switched over from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. They've got a new influx of players and a lot of people with questions. So let's hop into this and let's actually do a beginner's guide and so we're to help people that are coming into the game. Now, I've already done one of these before on the old Unreal Engine one several years ago, and that is on the channel. If you're looking to find a more complete one where I go from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, I will put a link to that in the description of this video. But for now, let's start off in Unreal Engine 5. Now, I've already got a streaming only series one going here that I'm actually having a ton of fun with, but you will notice that now, if you are playing Conan Exiles, you now have 3 different single player saves, which is, in my opinion, is absolutely massive. Also, if you're looking forward to playing with friends or anything like that, you can go on here. You can search for whichever server there is. Also, make sure if you are that you get your server settings over here on the side. So if you're going for private servers, you want to click that box, show full servers, all sorts of different things. You can you can search for all sorts of different stuff. You notice there's a lot of servers. All right, but we're gonna be doing single player, and we're gonna be popping in here, and we're gonna be playing solo. All right, now there's a few different things that you need to know before you set up your server. Now, when you're setting up each individual single player, you want to make sure that you set it up properly. Now, there's different difficulty settings, and setting it up properly is dependent on you, not on me. It's on you. It's however you decide you want to play your game. It's your game. You play it however you want to. I'm going to give you a little bit of framework to help kind of shape it to more balanced. But I mean, if you want things out of balance, that's on you. I'm just saying, play how you want to play. All right, now the 3 different difficulties. Civilized, if you're wanting a more relaxed playthrough where it's just, you're not taking nearly as much damage, things die a little bit quicker, you gather up a little bit more, go with civilized. If you want the regular playthrough for Conan Exiles and you want it to be very balanced, I would go with decadent. If you want to be punished, and you want to take more damage, you want things to be, have more oomph. You deal less damage, things deal more damage to you. It's more, yeah, it's barbaric. So yeah, so yeah, I would go with decadent. I would just recommend decadent. Decadent. All right, so death behavior. If you're going through this one, let's see. So this determines what you drop when you die. All right, so this right here is drop everything, drop just your backpack, or drop nothing. Honestly, on your first playthrough, I would say drop just backpack, but for this, we're going to be doing drop everything. All right, now on this right here, I would recommend that since you do have access to it, that you make sure that is good. You go down, there's a couple different things that I would like to change here. Well, first off, nudity. I have nudity turned off. You do you. Just saying. YouTube doesn't like nudity, so that's why I've got that one turned off. All right, the animal pen multiplier. This actually starts out at 1.0. I've got it 1.5. Mine's actually a little bit slower, but I'm actually going to put mine at 0.5. That way there is half the normal speed going up, so it still takes a little while. It's not like, you put it inside of its taming pen and then it immediately gets, tamed up. But yeah, it'll take just a little bit of time, not a lot. There's also a couple more down here. Day-night cycle. This is a big one that I change. Mostly I do this because when I stream and, having a really dark screen when somebody's watching with a phone, it really sucks. But also, I don't like playing at night. I just don't. Yeah, I by putting the day cycle speed and the daytime speed to half means that they last twice as long as normal, and putting the nighttime speed to 5 means I still have nighttime, but it goes by faster, much faster, because I really don't. I really don't like that. Excuse me. All right. So also the item rate spoil. I have this set to 0.5. I had that wrong. I want to set this to, actually, no, 0.5. That way there, it's twice, it lasts twice as long. All right, the harvest amount multiplier, I have this set so where it's not super cheaty or anything like that, but it does help me gather up a little bit extra. So I've got it 1.5. You can set it 2. I mean, you are playing single player on this right here, so you are the only one gathering. So, 2 isn't that isn't that big of a stretch, and I would not consider that cheaty at all. All right, there's a couple other ones here. See, crafting is another one. Set your thrall time one to 0 0.5 as well, because later on you will be getting thralls to help you out, and you don't want it to take forever, but you do mean, honestly, I want it to take a little bit of time, so go with that. There's a whole bunch of other ones that you can go. You can actually fine-tune your gaming experience in here. I would recommend you go through, take a look at everything you can take a look at that you can change, but if you don't know what it does, or if you're uncertain, leave it alone. Trust me. You can mess up your game just a little bit by, putting on the wrong settings. All right, with all those set, though, let's hop on in, confirm settings. And now we are greeted with the decision, male or female. All right, so I'm not going to cover all of character creation because a lot of this is just, your decision, how you want it. The only ones that really matter are your religion. The religion actually starts off with a few different things. Each religion, you can unlock all these religions, but as you're, when you first start out, you start out with one religion, and it does determine some of your early game stuff because you will get certain buffs. If you want access to early game heal pots and replenishable heal pots, Mitra is a really good way of going. If you want access to some earlier poison arrows and stuff, Set is the way to go. I'm actually going to go Mitra on this. And, yeah, let's see. I'm gonna spend a little bit of time, and I'm gonna fine-tune my character. But when it comes around to making your character, religion is the only thing that changes the way game. It's the only thing on character creation that changes gameplay. Everything else is just you do you. All right, now we get to the very bottom of this, and then it's starting location, starting area. If this is your first time playing, I would recommend starting in the Exiled Lands. Isle of Sipta is actually pretty fun, but and you can start off in a few different areas, which is kind of cool. But I would recommend for your first time playing through, start off in the Exiled Lands. Yeah, it's a desert, but yeah, the game was made around the Exiled Lands. Isle of Sipta was an expansion later on, so yeah. All right, so let's finalize character, and then also notice that here it's like, hey, go back, confirm, but when you click confirm, that it won't do it. You actually have to put in your name here. So we'll put in Phlinger. All right, and yeah, so now you get a little bit of comedy. So we are condemned to death in exile for breaking an oath, assassinating a merchant, and piracy. Something you can get some all sorts of different ones, like smacking a camel and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. All right, so let's pop on in, and let's do this. Let's go through the cutscene.
During the year of the Cobra, a prisoner captured by unknown means was transported into the Exiled Lands, crucified, and left to die for crimes that they may or may not have committed. Death comes swiftly on black wings, until fate intervenes.
Thirsty, dead man. Shall I cut you down from that corpse tree? It might kill you. You civilized men are soft. Your lives are not nailed to your spines. Where I come from, we kill our enemies in battle. We don't leave them in the desert to die like dogs. So, you live again, dead man. This kinder to leave you on the cross. Live. Love. Burn with life. Slay and survive. We will meet again, dead man.
All right, now with that done, now we're going to start off in here. Now, I would recommend that when you first do this, you make sure that you press J, and you go through and you make sure you have the proper journey set up. Survivor should be the one that you have queued. It will be the one that auto-queues, but if just for any reason it doesn't, just go in here, click Survivor, and then click Start Journey. Yeah, it'll actually have it set up so where you can do that. Now, this is right here will guide you through. It'll give you extra XP as you're going. Also, it'll give you a few different little things. It'll keep you just exactly what you want to do while you're doing this. So, Survivor, investigate the smoke nearby. Let's kick. Let's dodge. See, we just got XP just by doing that. So, journey. Right here, investigate the smoke. Oh, no, not her. Yeah, and also, if you even if you don't have them or you have them locked as well, you can still go through a whole bunch of these, and you still will get, you know, some XP for doing some of these things. All right, so now starting, let's go through and let's pick up some of these rocks. Let's make sure we got these. Also, now we're going to be looking for the branches as well.
Behold, bonded one, the very boundaries of civilization. Beyond the passage of our highways lie the wild places of the world, where untamed savages make endless war upon each other.
I don't want to interrupt this guy.
You cannot pass.
But you can click on these for a little bit of flavor text. It's kind of cool. We're going to keep running.
Bonding prevents it. Return. Follow the road. Any road. All roads lead to the city.
All right, now that right there, that's a little bit of flavor text that actually guides you. Because when he says all roads lead to the city, they're not wrong. You follow this, you generally follow this road, and it will eventually take you into there. So, yeah. And there's going to be some food in here. Let's actually eat this. And then we will pass a journey step. These guys right here, you can't do anything with those. Which one are we doing? Gather plant fiber bushes. Okay, these are the big ones, like the, yeah, this right here. These are the plant fiber bushes. We'll keep gathering this up until we can have enough plant fiber. You know, you'll notice when you're picking things up, it'll tell you how in the plus over on the far right, it'll tell you exactly how much you get and how much you actually have in your bag. So we've got +1, and we have 33 in our bags. I love that feature of this game. I think that's great. I think more games need to incorporate that into this, well, into their game. Gather up some more. Now we've got that. Now let's craft this, craft this, craft this, craft this. And also, if this is your first time making stuff, or if you don't have anything in that slot, it will just auto slot it into there as you're crafting it. All right, spend attribute points. All right, now we got to talk about attribute points since we've already got 3 of them unlocked. All right, if you go through and you click through, I would recommend your first time seeing this, go through and thoroughly read all sorts of different things, because the strength, and it'll tell you over here on the top right exactly what it is. So it's strength determines the damage that you do with strength-based weapons and slightly increases your carry. Agility does the same thing, but only for agility-based weapons, and then increases the size of your stamina pool, which is pretty dang huge. Also helps you act after a dodge. So once you dodge in combat, say like That right there, it determines how fast you can get back up into the action after you dodge, which, in my opinion, is pretty good. I always go with a little bit of agility. A lot of times I will go quite a bit agility just because I really like to be fast on my feet in this game. All right, vitality is directly your health pool. Authority is, this is later on when you get thralls and you get beasts. This one comes into action. Although I would recommend when you're doing authority, when it comes around to this one, it's either all or nothing. You can get by with having no points into this, or you can get by with having a bunch. If you if you think that later on you want to have multiple thralls, you definitely want to get to War Party right here. Maximum followers increased by 1, and yeah. All right, now authority determines the amount of damage your followers deal and the amount of concussive damage you deal. So you can't, that right there actually helps justify a few points into it, but yeah, I would recommend if you're gonna go this, go all in. Grit determines the size of your stamina pool and has a direct effect on armor. This one's pretty good. This one gives you more stamina. Expertise, this one's usually about gathering. It helps with your weight, how much you can carry. Also, it affects how long your tools last, how much you can harvest, all sorts of different things. So depends on whether it's really helpful for builders and stuff like that. So yeah. All right, now that we've got those done, let's head on in here. Let's see, we're looking for some twigs. Oh, I still have to spend it after a point. I'm just gonna spend mine in strength early on, just where I can hit harder. Yeah, there was some of this. And also, notice they were gathering seeds. These seeds, later on, you can take these, cook both the plant fiber and the seeds in a campfire, and you get gruel for taming thralls. So make sure you keep all your seeds, because yeah, you will eventually go through all of them. Make sure I have plenty of stones. Here we go. Okay, you will eventually get to a spot where you start seeing branches. These branches are very important. You want to get at least 5 of them to start off. And conveniently, there's 5 of them right here. Oh, there's 6, actually. I'm going to grab that. Okay, so now, what you want to do... All right, it says search for more survivors, but I'm going to craft a stone pick. I'm going to equip that into 1. Bugs. Also, these handful of insects, these are actually quick and easy food. They're like a little snack. Treat them like popcorn. They won't give you a lot, but they will give you a little bit. Get a little bit more of that. And I want to gather as much of these branches as I can before we start heading off in. It's because this is how you get most of your tools, is out of the branches. Okay, so I can craft this. The hatchet. Come on. And you can freely move all of these to any individual one. Say I want my pick on 7, you can just pick it up and just slot it over there. It works out really well. All right, so now let's get into, now that we've got our pick, if we want, we can start smacking up these big boulders and you get so much more stone than if you were just trying to pick them up off the ground. It helps out quite a bit. Same thing with axes for trees. It helps out quite a bit as well. Later on, you can get sickles for bushes, which are amazing. Trust me, they're amazing. And you can get all sorts of different things. All right, let's see. This guy right here, he'll flash us and run away. And then from here, we go up and we claim this guy's book.
Gods
right
curse
there.
this sandstorm. We were forced to take refuge before the wind scoured the skin from our faces. There is something in the storm. Beasts. We hear the skittering of their paws outside the ruins, and their howls mingle with the screaming winds. The men are scared. I've put them to work crafting rudimentary weapons and torches from the loose stones and rough plants that dot this place. I've yet to meet a beast that liked fire, or the bite of the axe.
Okay, now that we've got that, now that we can move on. Just make sure that when you're doing this, that you have before you get up and you see that guy screech, make sure that you've got all your journeyman's or your journey survivor stuff done up for search for survivors, or else you'll have to wait till you get to a camp up there, which can be kind of a pain. Now we just got to gather stones. You know, make us gather our stuff all over again. So we just got to make sure that, you know, you do it twice. Oh, and then also this canteen that we got, we can take that, put that down there. This right there. And they give you a canteen full of water, so it does help out. But try to go a little bit light on it, at least till you get to the water. Not seeing any branches. And we can always just get branches up here. As we get a little bit... Oh, this put us in a good spot. Now, you'll notice by pressing M, you can start off all the way along this area. But one of the easiest things is look for this little broken bridge. It's actually a really good spot up here. I mean, you can start off any way along this entire river and have a really good start. But I always just like right here, just because there's easy metal right across over here. Well, iron ore. So where, yeah, you can get that early game really easy. Now I'll show you where that's at here in just a little bit. Okay. Now, see that right there? That's our first enemy. We kind of want to give him a little bit of a berth. A wide berth until we can actually craft something. Oh, he is... Okay. So we're going to have to punch this dude's lights out. Okay, no, he disappeared. Okay. So just remember, you can punch. And that's really what we want to do if things come up to us right now. But, let's go up to the knowledge tree. Now, the knowledge tree, this right here, this will kind of give you a breakdown of all the different things like construction, decoration, survival. So it's got like the, you know, the cooking, the campfire, which we will definitely need. Also, it's got your weapons, your armor, and your religion. But if things are in here that you're looking for that you just can't find, honestly, just go up here and click search, and it'll give you a rundown of everything that that you can learn in the entire game. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna go with some daggers just because I like them, and then maybe also a bow. All right. Also, as we're learning things, it will actually give us the unlocks for them. So we're through the journey up here. Like that, we just unlocked Archer. All right, now I'm going to craft a set of daggers, which will automatically queue up the twine, and then queue up the set of daggers, and then put them right there. I'm going to put them over in 7. So now we've got these. Now, every single item that you have, every weapon that you use has a different move set. So I would recommend, on your first time playing through, learn all the different weapons and then try them out, see which one you like best. If you like ranged, later on you can get magic as well. But yeah, if you like ranged, if you like melee, however you like to fight. Now, the moveset on these ones right here, they've got a specific left click. This right here is the left click, and the right click is this. But the right click also applies a bleed attack, which I really enjoy. Also, it changes your kick so where you have a special dodge whenever you have the daggers equipped, which is really, really cool. Always check the dodge to see what, how it changes dependent on your weapon. Now, also we have the dodge. Pretty good. All right, so now that we've got this situated, let's come up here, grab a bunch of stuff. Also, one thing I should probably learn as well is just this, because it does make things a little bit easier. Also, the hammer is really good as well. The hammer... Okay, now here, if you mouse over these things, it'll actually tell you a few things. Now, this sword right here, this is how much damage it does. This is what the effect it does. And then this right here is the armor penetration. Each one of these has a certain level of armor penetration. And I would recommend going with one that, honestly, it suits your playstyle. Because Armor penetration is how much it reduces their armor, how much of the actual attacks get through. Bludgeoning weapons actually deal quite a bit more. Also, bleed ones deal a decent amount. Pretty good. The straight up sword, not super great, but the two-handed sword, just because it's big, it has quite a bit. Bows don't really have a lot either. But yeah, also the bone claws, not really that great either. All right. But yeah, I'm going to actually go with, just in case of somebody, we encounter someone. Some wood for that. Want a sword. Also, let's go just chop down a tree and get some wood. I also notice that when we're hacking these, we get branches. I'm not getting any branches. Dude, give me some branches. I got them off the last one. You guys saw it. Oh, there we go. There's some branches. Also, if you use a pick on a tree, you get bark. Yeah, it took me a long time to learn that when I was first playing. Yeah. Bark is what you use to fuel your tannery and stuff. Okay, so now that we're up here, let's go like this. Let's craft knowledge. Let's go with our general construction. We're not going to go through all of construction. It'll guide you through. The journey will completely guide you through exactly how to build. All right. Let's see. What do we need to do? Harvest stone with your pick. I already done. Okay. All right. Let's do this here really quick. And you'll have to go through the entire rock before it actually updates. Craft bedroll. That's exactly what I was about to do. All right, so we craft this, and also we make sure that we have the campfire learned. Okay, now for the bedroll, set this down. Bedrolls are very, very, very important. So bedrolls are your respawn. You take that, set that down, and it will determine where you respawn. Now, there's two different ways. You can actually set it up so where you have multiple bed spots, or multiple respawn spots. Your bed is one, and your bedroll. So always, I would recommend when you're out adventuring, always carry a bedroll with you, but then also have a bed set up back at your base. That way there you can adventure out. If you want to respawn at your bed, you can. If you want to respawn close to where you're fighting, where you're adventuring, take a bedroll, set it down somewhere that's kind of off, away from where the action is, and set it down there so you can respawn at the bedroll instead. And then you can get back up and get your stuff and everything. It does kind of help out. All right, let's see. Next one. All right, slay an enemy, craft some wraps, heal yourself. All right, well, let's go through here. Let's go slay an enemy. Oh, hold on. We need to make a shield. Shield does kind of help. Especially early game. Now, if you want to equip, say, the sword and the shield, you have to independently equip them. They're not like a complete set. But yeah, it's just the way it's set up. Oh, I'm gonna get these. I'm in branch mode. Don't judge me. All right, so now let's get down here. Let's pick a fight with these guys. Right down below us, there is a little camp. Which is another reason why I like this so much, because there's like 3 different camps. And there's a name that spawns right over here. It's not a super tough named, but it does make a really good early game thrall. This is right with that guy right there. Yeah. And then right here's a camp, and then right across over here behind this rock is another camp. Also, if you're traveling to the Isle of Sipta, right over there is one of the teleporter guys. Yeah. I'll guide you through a few of these. Hey, dude. All right, so now what we want to do, we either want to block his first attack. And there we go, just like that. All right, now once he's dead, we can actually loot his body. On his take off. And then also, if we wanted to, there are certain things in this game that are cannibals and stuff, so you can harvest these guys up. But I would also recommend getting a skidding knife as quick as possible. Also, getting a stone cleaver. A skidding knife will get you extra hide. A stone cleaver will get you extra meat. So yeah, always make sure that safety and human hide is absolutely a thing. So we're gonna get that. Yep, we just got human hide. It's just hide, but yeah. And this stuff right here will actually help get. Well, you can make armor out of it, which is. No, I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying. human hide is a thing. All right, so let's craft up some wraps. Now that we've got that weirdly awkward moment out of the way. Let's take this, put this over here. And then heal myself, 5. All right, now harvest meat from a corpse. One of the easiest ways of actually doing this, if you're at this bridge, is coming right over here and fighting these turtles. Now, learning how to fight these turtles is going to be really important because, all right, there's one. They're little walking turtle guys. These guys right here are an amazing source of early game meat that will last you on to a while, for quite a while. Now here, let me show you. Let's actually put this right there. Oh, and also, these are good in, for healing up, but they lock you into an animation. So I would recommend don't try to use healing wraps in the middle of combat. Just don't. It's going to be bad for you. All right, let's stack a couple bits of bleed on this guy. Dodge out of the way and just let him die. Like that. All right, now that we've got that, now we're going to take our cleaver, put it right down here. We're going to use the cleaver to chop this guy up, and we get savory flesh, and this is actually really good stuff. All right, so refill our water skin. How you do this is you go over, stand right like this, and you press the water skin number while you're looking down at the, at here. So all I did is come over, and inside the water, all I did is come over here, and then press 3. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can actually just press your use button on the water, and you'll drink. Notice that I filled up my water as we were going. All right, also, up in the top left, I know I probably should have mentioned this earlier. Up in the top left, you have the food, you have the water, you have the temperature, which is really important. Not super important right now, but eventually it will get really, really important. And then the fourth one is weight. That's how much total weight you're going. And then the fifth one is how much of shelter do you have, which does matter because the sandstorm is a thing. Now here, let me show you as, let's see, can we raise that? Duck down, yeah, right there. You can actually protect yourself from the sandstorm by ducking down in nooks and crevices while it's going on. So just know that if you're out and about and you need a little bit of shelter, yeah, see right there, we got 5, got almost a complete bar. Yeah. And it's really easy to get shelter that way. So just know that when you're out and about and a sandstorm hits, you're not totally screwed. Just find a nice corner and hunker down in it. Yeah. All right, so where did I put my... There it is. All right, so now we're going to go take this, wrap this here. What's our journey step? Oh, okay. Yeah, exactly what I was going to do. All right, take this, put this down. Try to harvest it, apparently. All right, so now what you want to do, you'll notice that inside just about every terminal in this game, like the campfires, the tanneries, the smelters for your metal, everything like that, they have a certain fuel. Now, the fuel generally is either bark or wood. Some of them require specific ones. If they require specific ones, up here, they will tell you exactly what all it is. It'll tell you which fuel it is, what you add to it to create stuff, and what it creates. And if you get tired of seeing this, you can just turn off that tutorial. But I would recommend having it on for the first little bit. All right, so the fuel, and then for the food, we click that up, get that going, and it actually cooks really, really quick. All right, so now that we've got our cooked meat made and put on our bar, we just eat one, and then that activates that. Also, you see these little babies running around? When I said earlier about taming the creatures, this is how you do it. You grab one of these little babies, and then you craft... Where is it? Craft one of these. Later on, it's level 13 is when you can first get it. It's animal pen or the small animal pen. You get one of those and you put it in it with a little bit of food. It'll tell you up in the top right exactly which food it's kind of looking for. And then you can just put it in there and then, yeah. it'll slowly raise up. Same with thralls, although with thralls, you get those with the Wheel of Pain, which is the same. Actually, Thrall Taker right here, level 10. Okay, you get the Wheel of Pain. You put this down. Now the Wheel of... Okay, now the Wheel of Pain, this actually requires 50 iron, so make sure that you're ready for that when you go. Now, let's go some early game iron. Let's figure out exactly how to do that, because honestly, we could sit here and we could build and stuff like that, but building, as long as, when you get this, you learn how to do the construction hammer. Just remember, you can't build anything without the construction hammer. And when you gets ready to build, all you do is open up this right here, survival shelter, and then you craft the construction hammer, and it'll tell you exactly how to go through and build, which we will eventually get to, but not in this video. This video is how to get you first started and how to get you first situated. Now, right here, I would recommend, remember earlier when I said when we start out, find this bridge. On your first playthrough, find the bridge, trust me. On any subsequent playthrough, you play how you want, right? I mean, serious. But for the first one, I would recommend finding this bridge just because metal is really easy here. All right, now you come across here. You go like this. Now here, let me show you one thing as well. An easy way to lose aggro early game. All right, let's go pick a fight with these guys. I see there's 2 people there. All right. Now, they're going to want to fight us. Easiest way, jump in the water. They can't swim. So that's when the easiest way is to just drop aggro. Also, swimming doesn't drain your stamina unless you're sprint swimming, which is a thing. But if you want to regenerate your stamina and be safe, you just kind of just sit like this. If you want to go AFK for a moment, you just sit like this. Yeah, this is a good spot to go AFK. Nothing's going to come eat you. Alright, so now let's follow this broken bridge over across the way. Okay, now also another thing to keep an eye on, these turtles in the starting area, they're generally not aggressive unless if you see the sleeping red ones. Those are the ones that are just aggressive and they will attack you. But they're, I mean, honestly, they'll jump at you, just dodge that, and then just lay into them, and then they go down pretty quick. Especially if you're going to use bleed. Yeah, right there is one of the aggressive guys. Matter of fact, let me show you how to take this guy out. Alright, he will aggro on you, which means that all of them aggro. Okay, here he comes. Dodge. Alright, his buddy's dead. Let's get our stamina. Now let's get our stamina. Just let him die. Just like that. Alright, now I need... You see, I need hide here. And we could go with meat, but I want hide. We're still going to get a little bit of savory flesh, but not a lot. Okay. So now, let's get up here. There's a couple things I want to show you up here. Alright, so we're right on the other side of the bridge. Our base is right over there. You're right here, and then there's these ghosts. Show you right here. As we get closer, it'll trigger them. See right there, and it'll play a sound effect if you're up close. Now, these ghosts will always guide you to something, or they will show you something. So if these ones right here, they actually guided us to this right here, which actually shows us the emote submissive. All right, but if you see them like dancing or something like that, generally just stop and watch them, and you'll usually learn the dance that they're doing, or there'll be a book around nearby that shows you how to do the dance. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So always pay attention to them. Also, if you see a ghost that's like walking towards something, performing like an action, like picking a rock that's there. Pick the rock. Chances are there's something hiding underneath it. The ghost is just telling you what's there. All right, or that there's something special there. All right, so now we're getting into iron rocks. These right here are the iron rocks. And you are going to be harvesting up a lot of iron in your time. Just get used to it. It's one of those things. You're going to need it for iron. You're going to need it for steel. You're going to need it for all sorts of different stuff. All right, so starting right there at the base is one iron node. Right here, there's a couple more. We want to get all of this. There should be some more. Oh, and when you're jumping, I probably should have covered that. When you're jumping down, if you look up against a ledge and you grab the ledge, just press your jump button next to the ledge, you'll latch onto it. It's pretty good. And makes getting down from stuff like that really easy. It'll take you a little while to get used to it, but once you do, trust me, it just helps out quite a bit. All right, so now we're just going to run along this edge. Over across over here, and I'll show you where there's a little bit more metal. Our stamina. And then those red dudes over there. Also be careful. Remember how I said that there was a named thrall over there? There's another one right there. And he'll wander this beach a little bit. So just got to be careful of him. Sometimes you can catch these dudes napping. You can stack that dot up to 20, by the way. And it does insane amounts of damage at 20. Alright, so right here, there's some more iron. Remember, right, there should be some more down here as well. But when, yeah, right here. But when you're right here, make sure you keep an eye on this big, mean crocodile right there. He will aggro you from a distance, and he is a tough guy. Do not try to engage him until later on in the game. He's pretty tough. All right, and this right here, this will do it. All right, we got 104 iron. Now we just run back to base, and we mill this smelter. All right, and just so you guys know, I plan on having this start off as a series. I will eventually transition into a Let's Play where we go through and we beat the game. But for now, the first probably about 5 episodes are going to be covering all sorts of different ones. This one is going to be just getting in, getting used to the game. Next one will be most likely taming thralls, and so on until we get down to doing your first dungeon and all sorts of cool stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of awesome stuff, so stay tuned for those, and it will be in a consecutive playlist. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. All right, now back this way. Matter of fact, there is the bridge. I just came back and I went back this way. Here's a little bit more metal, and also another thing I wanted to show you as well. All right. So not a ton of metal, but, you know, it is enough to get us started. All right, but this guy right here, this is the Inherent of the Outer Dark. This guy right here, he will take you and he will transport you to the Isle of Sipta if you have that expansion. And trust me, it's fun being able to transport through. Now, if you are, if you go to the map and click through, this guy right here will actually take you and he will put you over here on this side. I believe it spawns you right here. On this area right there, yeah, right there on that is where he spawns you. Now, there is another one that will take you and it will spawn you over here in this section right here. Now, the one that spawns you over there is located right here on this map. But yeah, the one that takes you over to the west is here. The one that takes you over to the east is here. Yeah. All right, so now that's done. Let's get back over here and let's smelt our metal. All right, so now that we're back, now what we want to do is we want to learn... Where is it? Already in there? Okay. All right, well, let's craft our hammer. Here we need wood and twine. So let's craft the twine. Wait, we're out of twine. Okay, let me go get all this stuff really quick, and then we'll get this stuff going. I thought I was prepared when I brought you guys back. Sorry about that. All right, so let's queue up 10 of these. Craft one of these. Construction hammer. All right, now, so by clicking this, you will activate the building menu. The construction hammer is how you activate that. Now, while you have that open, you click B, and then you go through and you can click all sorts of different things. So you can go to decorations, crafting stations, building pieces, and then you can toggle. If you have the Isle of Sipta, you can toggle between sandstone and flagstone and flotsam. And I really enjoy the flotsam stuff. It's really good. All right, so this next little bit requires level 10 to learn. So let's see. It is located right here. Blacksmithing is at level 10. So I'm going to go and get some quick and easy XP. So let's go pick a fight here really quick. We're actually getting some pretty decent XP. Yeah, pretty decent XP. All right, and also make sure that we harvest up everything because we do get XP from harvesting things. Even the human hide. Yeah, it is as creepy as it sounds. All right, also another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to craft a storage box up here just so where I can carry around a bunch of stuff. Now, this is located under the building pieces, the decorations. This is right here. And also, it is unlocked via the knowledge, right here. So the box maker. So I would recommend actually getting one of these early on just so you can kind of hold some stuff so you're not being completely weighed down constantly by everything, but you're still going to want to do stuff. Now also in the enhanced edition, different from the regular edition, you can now craft stuff from the inventory without having to pull stuff out of your stuff. As long as you're in your proximity, in the proximity of the area where your storage box is, you can actually, you don't have to pull stuff out of it. You can just craft stuff like it was in your inventory. It's really, really awesome. All right, back to the grind of XP. Oh yeah, but here, let me demonstrate. You know, here, you can go like this. See, we have nothing in our inventory, but we're standing next to our storage box right there. You can just repair. Right, like it was, the stuff was in our inventory. It's huge. I love that. All right, and there's our level. Actually, a little bit beyond our level. In early game, make sure you get all the hide you can. You're going to need a lot of it. I mean, a lot of it. Whenever you harvest anything, just make sure you get a bunch. Alright, so now that we've got this, we go attributes. I'm going to level up there. Now, how you do your attributes is up to you. I just like to get strength and grit. That way there I can carry more, and I have a little bit extra stamina and armor. Just it makes it easier for me to live. Then I will branch out and do whichever build I'm going for through the play session. Alright, so now we will go through and we will learn right there. You notice at level 10, a lot of stuff unlocked for us. But also, if you just want to, you don't want to see all this extra stuff, this is just DLC that I purchased. I can just turn that off. Yeah. So, let's get over here and let's go smell some stuff. Oh, and also, what I probably should have said or let you guys know about is that after I did that fight and I ate, I ended up getting the sated buff, and you'll see it down on the bottom left. See the food counting down? You have a little bit of regeneration while you have the sated buff. And it means you just build your food up to full. And then, yeah, you're just regenerating health. It's slow over time, but it does add up quite a bit. And when that goes, you can always just eat another food to replenish that, to give yourself the sated buff again, as long as your food is up high. Yeah, it works out quite well. Don't rely on it during combat, but out of combat, it works great. All right, so now here we are. Let's get 8 and F, crafting stations, smithing. This is the one we want. So this is a bunch of stone. Let's get a bunch of stone. This is more than enough. There we go. And we can just take this and we can set that up right there. Take all of this. Put that in there. That in there. That in there. We're going to need to go get some more wood. Take that. And then that. Get that going. Also, later on, you're going to need to be able to make bricks. How you make bricks is you just take these, throw them in here. Take stone, throw it in, it just makes brick. Really easy. So, yeah, just whenever you're running this and you're not smelting iron, just start making some brick. You're going to end up needing like 50, 100, 200 at any time later on in your gameplay. Just, yeah, get a start early just where you've got a little extra brick. But, yeah, don't prioritize brick over iron, though. Hardly ever. But just make sure that when you need brick, you've got it. Let's get a little bit more wood. You can throw it in there so I can cook all of our iron. And then at this time, our iron should have respawned. If not, we've got probably about 10, maybe 15 more minutes before it does respawn. It respawns like every 20 minutes or so. It's not a long time. So, this. Put that right there. And yeah, also, there are different fuel sources, but it will not auto-transfer to the next fuel source. So if we're cooking a wood here and we have, like, say, coal and we want to put some in there, if it's burning the wood and you want it to burn the wood, just let it burn the wood. If you want it to burn the coal, it will not change over once it's done burning. It'll just shut the thing off. But if you want to switch over to the coal, just remove the wood and turn it on while the coal. And it'll auto-load the coal here, and then it'll go. But once the coal runs out, it will not switch over to the wood while it's going. It'll just stop cooking, and then you'll have to turn it back on manually. So yeah, just keep an eye on that, and just know that it'll do that. All right, so anyway, that's the first episode, the Beginner's Guide. I hope this video helps you out. I would encourage you, keep an eye out, enjoy the game, explore, experiment, do all sorts of cool things. But just remember, if you ever have any issues figuring out what you're supposed to be doing with a certain thing, go to the journey. They got all sorts of different things laid out here. Yeah, it's really cool, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do, which is also one of the reasons why I'm not covering some of the certain things, because a lot of it is just handled here. Also, if you want some really easy, quick XP, and you have Sipta, just travel to Sipta and travel right back. Some easy XP. Pretty good. All right, so hey, I hope this video helps you out. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. I really appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe. And until next time, this is Phlinger. Take it easy, everybody.